Okay, good morning. Welcome to
Family Math number 43.
Family Math number 43. We had to start this one over because I couldn't remember what odd numbers were. Okay, so we did a problem this week that involved adding up odd numbers, right?
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you remember what odd numbers are. Whoa. Okay, so the problem was 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus, I think it went all the way up to 39, although I don't remember since I only just now learned what odd numbers are. Okay, so that was the problem. Notice all these numbers are odd. Okay, so when we see a problem like this, probably what you do not want to do is what?
Is add all the entire thing up.
Yeah, you probably don't want to just add them up. Instead, what you want to do is what?
Make a chart.
Make a chart. Maybe we can look for some patterns. So let's take a look and just make some simpler problems. Okay? A little easier. Okay, what's the easy thing we could make out of this? If we want to make a simpler problem, instead of adding all the odd numbers up to 39, we could just add all the odd numbers up to?
1.
Up to 1. Okay, now if I add all the odd numbers up to 1, what do I get?
You get 1.
1. Very good. Now what's the next easiest sum I could do?
1 plus 3.
1 plus 3, which is?
4.
4. What's the next easiest sum I could do?
You could do 1 plus 3 plus 5.
1 plus 3 plus 5, which is?
9.
9. Very good. And what's the next easiest sum?
1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, which is 16.
Just 16.
I see something.
How interesting. Okay. What do you see?
Well, these are perfect squares.
Those are perfect squares. So it looks like the sum, when you add the odd number starting from 1 up to some number, you always get a perfect square. Now the question is, what perfect square do you get? 1 squared, 2 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared. Okay? So how does the number 4 relate to our odd numbers? How does the number 3 relate to our odd numbers? How does the number 2 relate to our odd numbers? How does the number 1 relate to our odd numbers?
Well, it's the number of odd numbers.
The number of odd numbers. So there's 4 odd numbers here, right?
Yeah.
And we get 4 squared. 3 odd numbers here, we get?
3 squared.
2 odd numbers here, we get?
2 squared.
1 odd number here, we get?
1 squared.
0 odd numbers here, we get? What do we get?
0.
0. Okay, so now we just have to figure out what odd number 39 is. Well, look at this. 4 times 2 minus 1 is 8 minus 1, which is 7. 3 times 2 minus 1 is 6 minus 1, which is?
5.
2 times 2 minus 1, which is? 3. Okay, 1.
So
Sorry. 2 times 2 minus 1 is 3. 1 times 2 minus 1 is 1. So what times 2 minus 1 equals 39?
20 times 2 minus 1.
20 times 2 minus 1 equals 39, so there must be 20 odd numbers there. And so what do they sum up to?
Well, it would be 20 squared.
So this is 20 squared,
It's 400.
which is 400. Okay, so now, you think we're done?
Well, we could check it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to show you why this is true now. There's a really neat way with Duplo blocks to see why this is true. So first let's review. We have this long sum that looks like it's crazy hard, but we don't want to add all the numbers up, so we just look for patterns. Look at the first sum, the second sum, the third sum, the fourth sum, and then we see a nice pattern, and then we just have to see when we get to 39, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, now let's go to the kitchen and look at some Duplo blocks and see if we can see why odd numbers make squares. Okay?
Yep.
All right, to the
Kitchen.
kitchen. All right, go. Okay, here we are in the kitchen, and we were talking about making odd numbers add up to be squares, right?
Yep.
Okay, so what was our first odd number?
1.
So our first sum was just?
1.
Do you see a nice little square anywhere there?
Yep.
Yep, okay, great. What's the next number we have to add in?
We have to add 1 plus 3.
Okay, so here's 3 Duplo blocks, right?
Yep.
Can you put those in there to make a square for me?
There's a square.
There's a square, very good. So 1 plus 3 is?
4.
which is a 2 by 2 square. Okay, so now we have 5 Duplo blocks here. Can somebody add those to our picture to make another square? 4 and 5. Is that a square?
Yep.
Okay, what's the next number we have to add?
7.
7. Okay, let's add 7 really quick. Okay, go ahead, add them in. You see the pattern? You see what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus?
7.
Okay, what would be next?
1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9.
Okay, here's 9 Duplo blocks. Okay, let's add them in real quick. Hey, look at that. What is that? 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9.
It's a 5 by 5.
It's a 5 by 5. Okay, so what do we have to add next?
1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11.
All right, here's 11. Does that work? Does that make another square?
Yep.
All right, let's keep going. What should we add next?
A 13.
13. Okay, here we go. Look at this amazing pattern.
Makes a really cool picture.
It does make a really cool picture. Okay, ready for one more? What did we just add?
That was a 13.
Okay, so should we add 15?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here, take some of those. Take some of those. Start adding them in. And anybody can do this with Duplo blocks, right? Or Legos or whatever you wanted. Okay, look at that. How cool is that? Okay, that's all that fits on camera. We actually have the next two. This was 15.
Yep.
We even have 17 and 19. So when we added all the odd numbers up to 15, what did we get?
We got this cool square.
Okay, how long is the side of the square?
8.
Is it?
Let me see.
2, 4, 6,
8.
So there's 64 squares there, which is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 plus 13 plus 15. Isn't that cool how numbers can relate to geometry?
Yeah.
Did you ever think that integers and geometry were related?
No.
No. Who knew? That's pretty cool. All right, good job today, guys.